Okay, so again, we are just reviewing basically what we did on Friday, so we'll take it step by step. Remember, use absolute signs, value signs when necessary. Remember, a reminder for you. When does that happen? When the index is even and the power is odd. So just a reminder from Friday, if you have an even index like number 1 does, it has an even index of 2, and if the result when you do this simplification is odd, an odd power, you're going to have to put absolute value signs on it. So let's break this down. What two numbers go into 27? 9 and 3. I heard someone say it secretly. You're right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What's on your pink sheet? Because I don't want to get it confused. On the pink sheet, it tells you what the homework is. It say odds or evens. Odds. It says odds, so we're going to do evens together. My bad. Thank you. 32. How can I break 32 down? 8 and 4. Okay, so we have 8 and 4. There's no pair here, so let's keep going. What two numbers go into 8 and 4? 4 and 2. Look, you can keep going if you want, but I see a pair, so I'm going to circle it. The moment you see a pair, it's easier just to circle it right away. If you keep breaking it down, you're actually making it a little bit tougher on yourself. So the 2 remains, the 8's gone because we broke it down. The moment you use a little caret, it's gone. Now let's do the u's. Well, there's only one u, so that's just going to stay inside. There's no pair. I can't bring it out. Now let's do the v's. There's 2 of them. Is that a group of 2? Yes, so I'm going to circle them, and they're going to come out. So what I always do is I do what's circled first, and then I do the radical. So I have one group of 4, so the number 4 is going to come out. I have one group of them, so I'm just going to bring out the 4. Then I have one group of the v's, so that's going to come out as well. Well, that's everything I circled, so I'm done. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that radical in, and whatever I underline is going to stay inside. Now we're almost done. We just need to see. I have an even index and an odd power, so what do I need? What are those called? The more you say it, the better you'll remember it. Absolute value, very good. So I have an even index and an odd power, so this is my final answer. Those absolute value bars are crucial. Questions? Why don't you try number 1 with your group right now just to get some practice, or with yourselves. Try to break down number 1 to do some practice here. And let me know if you need help. The moment you have a pair, you can stop and you can circle it. Question? Only is the index. So the index is secretly 2, so it's a square root. So the square root we circle groups of 2. That's okay. A lot of people are getting that confused, so don't worry. Hopefully your number 1 is done. Yes. A pencil? If you go. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you need a calculator, they're right here. Some of you are doing this in your head. That's awesome. Okay, so hopefully you got this far at least. So take a look at the board in a second when it comes up. How would I write this out? I've circled everything that I needed to. How would I write this? Go ahead. Just n? How many groups of n? Good. I have 2 groups of n. So I have 1, 2, so that's going to be my exponent always. The amount that you circle is what you take out. Then I do have something underlined, so I'm going to go ahead and write that inside. I have an even index and an even power, so I am good to go. That's all I need, and I'm done. You don't need absolute values unless that power is odd and it was even. Is there any questions on that one? Okay, I'm going to look ahead here and kind of just skim. I'm going to do number 6 because that one's kind of tough. Number 4 is fine. I don't think you need it. Number 6. That's a big number. Please go ahead and practice and see how we can break this up. Remember I told you the trick. You take that number and keep dividing it by some numbers and see which ones you want to work. Okay, don't try to do like 5 times 5, 2 times 4. That's too hard. Take the number and start dividing by a bunch of numbers and see which groups you want. Who needs a calculator?
You just gotta keep dividing it by 2.
So what 2 numbers went into 768? 384 times 2. Okay, there's no pair, so I'm going to keep going. How can I break down 348? 192 times 2. Keep going. How can I break 86 and 2? Oh, you said 96, sorry. 96 and 2, keep going. Every time that you break it up, do you notice how I'm crossing them off? I'm crossing them off because a lot of people get confused and they'll write those numbers. They're gone. They don't exist anymore. How can I break 96 up? 48 and 2.
And then would be 24 and 2.
24 and 2. They're doing some little numbers. 6 and 4, good. Sorry, mine's breaking. I'm not used to doing those bigs. I try to find like the biggest number that goes into them because it's easier. But then we can keep going. I have 3 and 2. Sorry, this is running out of room. And then this guy is 2 and 2. Gone, gone. So yes, it's a lot. But let's start circling. Look at what this says. My index is 7. 7. So I need to circle a group of 7. So here we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That whole thing is a group. Okay, so if you don't have a highlighter, I mean, you can try your best. Circle in all of these. That's a group. A group of 7. Whatever this little guy inside says, that's how many better be in your group. So number 1 and 2, it was a group of 2 because our index was 2. Square root. Okay, so that means that the 3 and the 2 are staying inside. Now I have a power of 4. Am I going to be able to circle a group of 7? No. So I'm not even going to bother writing those out. So I have one group of 2. One group of 2. So I'll write the 2 on the outside. I only have one group. So I'm just writing 2. If there were 2 groups, it'd be 2 squared. Then that 3 times 2 was in the inside of that 7th root radical. So what's 3 times 2? 6. And that n to the 4 is going to stay inside. So 6 n to the 4th power. Right? We have an odd index, so we do not need absolute values. Question. Okay, go ahead and flip it when you're ready. We're just going to do a couple of these, and then I'm going to have you just start working. I want you guys to practice. I want to do number 8. Number 12. Okay, we're only gonna do 4 more, because then I want you to really work on your own or with a group member and ask questions if you need it. So I wrote down the ones I want to do. I'll do number 8 next. Okay, number 8. What is my index for 8? 5. So that means when I break it down, look forward. Come on, both of you. Thank you. Okay, my index is 5. When I break it down, I have to circle a group of 5. So let's break down 96. What two numbers go into 96?
48 and 2.
48 and 2. We got to keep going. Then what?
And get 24 and 2.
24 and 2. So this is gone.
No, it's 12 and 2, I guess.
Did you say 12 and 2?
No, I said 24.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right?
Yep, you're right. No, my brain's a little off. It is Monday. 24 and 2. Break it down more.
6 and 4.
6 and 4. Then this guy breaks down, and this one does. They're both gone. So we broke that down as far as we could. And we want to circle groups of 5. So I like to use highlighters sometimes. They're a little bit easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of those 2s are in a group. So if you're going to circle it, you can circle it like so. And the 3 stays in. Don't forget about the 3. He's just kind of out there alone. He has no group. He has no friends. He's going to stay inside the house. The X is only 1, so I'm not going to be able to pull a group of 5. But let's do the Y's.
Well, it's 5, so you can pull it.
I can, but I want to write it out for those that don't see that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Y's, and that's I'm just going to circle it. The Z, if the power is less than the index, there's nothing you can pull out. So the Z of the first power is less than the 5 index, so I can't pull anything out. Who thinks that they can write this out for me? We circled our groups. Go ahead.
2y, and then 5.
5, the 5th root.
3x.
Beautiful. I have an odd index. Do I need absolute values? Yes or no? No. I have an odd index. The rule says if I have an even index, then I will need absolute values, maybe. So that is our final answer. Do you have questions on 8?
No.
Okay, 12. Moving on to 12. Okay, they're getting a little bit harder, so make sure you're really focused here. That is a big number. Really big. Okay? So, with that said, we're going to break it down. Try to get a big number. I know 2s are easy, but they're really hard to write all those out. What's some big numbers that go into 768? What'd you say?
384.
384 and 2? Is that what you got?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of 12.
These are the same ones.
I don't know.
It's the same number? Okay. But can we break down 384 a little bit better? Yes. It would be -3. I'm going to put the negative here by the 2.
Wait, hold on.
But can we find numbers that go into 384 that are bigger than 2? Because that's a lot to write out, and I don't feel like writing all that down.
34 divided by 12.
384 divided by 12, you said?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
32.
12 and 32. Good. Making it a little bit easier on us. Then we have 4 and 3. We're used to that. Here we have 4 and 8. Don't I have... Oh, I don't have a group yet. Never mind. These are gone. Okay, I'm going to break this down into 2 and 2. That's gone. This breaks down into 2 and 2. That's gone. 4 and 2. Gone. And 2 and 2. I was just doing that. I know you guys can do a tree. So, I want groups of 7. So, I can see there's a lot of 2s, so it's probably what it's going to be. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means that this guy is left over. Okay? Now, for the U's and the V's, can I pull anything out?
No.
No, because look, the power is less than the index. So there's no way I'm going to ever pull anything out. I only have 3 U's. There's no way I can pull 7 of them. Okay? So when I write this out, the negative goes with. If you see a negative, it comes out with it. No matter what. You okay? Are you cold? It is cold in here. Yes.
Because there's -8 and -2. Would you multiply that and become a positive?
Yes. Very good. So what Elena is saying is that I'm pulling out a -2. So when I pull it out, you're really doing doing -8 times -2, but I'm going to write that out just so everyone can see that. I'm still pulling out the -2 because that's my group. If you do a -2 to the 7th power, okay, you're going to see that it's going to be a negative. Then I'm going to write the 7th root in whatever was underlined. 7th root. So I have a 2 was underlined and the u cubed and the v squared is staying inside because there was nothing I can do with it. If you want to underline it, go ahead and do so. Your last step is just to multiply, and I get what?
16.
16. And you're done. What'd you say? Inside where? Where we at? This is what. Ooh, did we leave this guy too? Look at. Did we ever circle this guy? No. Oh, we forgot about him. So what goes inside instead of 2?
6.
6, because 2 times 3 is 6. Question back there?
Yeah, where'd you get the -8 times?
So -8 was originally in our problem. So you got to be careful on those ones. The -8 was originally in our problem. We pulled out a group of 2, so that comes outside. Whenever you pull it on the outside of the radical, you multiply. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Sign out, please. What's up? 4. When you put them together? Oh, I get it.
Across the street. I think it delivered to some rolls.
Okay, next one we're doing is 16. This little pass right here, it's not really pass, but. Okay, number 16. Go ahead and break down this for me. Remember, when there is no index, there's an imaginary 2. When there is no index, there's an imaginary 2. Break it down for me. See if you can do it. Try to finish it off. You can do different numbers than your partner. So we're trying number 16, not staring. Try your hardest. Hopefully you at least got this far. Again, you could have done 6 and 4. You'll still get the same answer as me. I promise.
I know, like, how much the font, like, since the 3.
You go down until you can't, there's no other numbers that break into it. So they're prime numbers. Where are we at?
Yeah, like that.
Like this? There's no pair. I can't circle anything.
2.
The 2s? Yeah, we did
Okay,
circle.
be like 3.
We can't do that because the index is 2. So you circle how many the index is. Yes.
So it's naked by itself.
We're going to go over right now. Okay. So whatever you circle, you write. So I see a group of 2 because that's what I circled. So I'm going to write 2. I see one group of y, so I'm only going to write one group of y, which is just y. Question. If you use different numbers, it's okay, as long as you get the same result.
I know, but I got 2 twos. I'm not 3.
You did get 3. There's just a 3 right here.
Oh,
Yep, but we are not going to use it because it's not in a group. Okay? Now, please don't forget, because I almost did, about this -8 that's out in front. I'm going to bring that here so you guys know. That's where it's coming from. Then I'm just going to write my radical, whatever stayed inside. 3 times 2 is 6. The x stayed inside, and so did the y. 3 times 2 is 6. X stays inside, y stays inside. My last and final step is to multiply these two together. So I get negative 8 times 2, which is negative 16, y square root 6xy. Final step. Check and see. I have an even index and an odd power. So what do I need? Absolute value signs. And you're done.
What color is that?
Black?
The box. What color is
What?
Black?
it? No, I saw brown at first.
Oh, that's strange.
Colorblind.
Like, the first line was like a greeny look, and then the second line was like a peach, and then you went over it, and then...
Yeah, it like automatically did that with the highlighter, so I don't know
Oh,
why that
I
happened.
thought it was me.
Yeah, no, the highlighter did something, but okay, last one, and then you're working on your own. So number 20. Last one. Probably the easiest one on here, but I want you don't guys get confused. What is the square root of 64? What two numbers go into them? 8 and 8. Look, that's a pair. Why keep going? A lot of people will keep breaking it down, but if you see a pair right away, because my index is 2, then just circle them and stop. So the 8 comes outside. So I'm going to take that 8, and it's coming outside. Nothing was left inside. There's nothing. So negative 6 times 8 is what?
Is it 48?
Negative 48. And you're done. Okay?